Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about automating your eBay or your Amazon business or any other business, digital business for that matter, even a Shopify store. But in this case we're going to go over specifically eBay and Amazon. So a lot of things you can do yourself personally before spending money on VAs or automation software or any of the like. You can simply automate a lot of the processes like customer service, return requests, refunds, customer inquiries, whatever the customer inquiry is. You can actually create scripts. So over time of running your business, you'll eventually start to realize there's a lot of common questions, right? A lot of customers that ask the same stuff. Like one day or 12 hours after an order gets placed, they'll have, a cancellation request. Can you please cancel my order? A month later, customer hasn't received your item. Or item never arrived, what do I do now? And things like that. And then you can also develop scripts for after you've got a return request. So you've sent the customer a return label, they return the item, but let's say your supplier never notified you that they've refunded you, or the supplier has not refunded you. So in that case, you can actually, over time, eventually you're going to see, I'm going to answer this customer the same as I answered the last customer, and then you're going to answer another customer, and you're basically saying the same thing. All you're going to have to do is fill in the blanks of like a couple small details, like the name of the item, for example, or the customer's name, right? So you can actually create scripts for these. Now we have scripts you can take and download, but that's in our program. So you can do this yourself simply by realizing what kind of common questions are going to occur in your e-commerce business. And a lot of them is going to be cancellation requests, where's my item, or my item didn't arrive, or when will I receive my refund, or where is my refund, or I need to return an item, how do I do it? So you can literally customize scripts for these, throw them in a Word document or any other note that you can keep on your computer or your phone or your PC or wherever you run your business from. And when you get a customer inquiry, all you're going to do is open up that thing, copy and paste the script, and then all you're going to do is fill in the blanks with, let's say, customer name, item, like the item name or the product name that you sold in question. So for cancellation requests, what I like to do is, unless the customer cancels like within an hour, because sometimes rather it's software placing the orders for me, and in that case it's really difficult to send in a cancellation request and it's a lot of work. So what I'll do is I'll wait 6 to 12 hours and I'll answer the customer, and I will send them my script saying we've already sent your order into our supplier. We will try to send in a cancellation request for you, but if the item is still delivered, you have a few options, and then we just send them the rest of the script. And you can literally customize these scripts, save them in a Word document. Over time, you will be able to send these scripts, and you're literally just going to be tweaking one word here and there, and it's going to save you so much time. Like if you had 5 customer inquiries, let's say you had 2 cancellation requests, one, hey, where's my item, I didn't receive it, and then another one is, hey, I needed a refund and I never got it yet. So you could spend 10, 15, 20 minutes answering these customers and typing out answers manually and do this every single time. Or you can copy and paste over your script, which takes literally 30 seconds, and then you're just going to replace 1 or 2 words, maybe a couple words in that script, and click send on to the next question. So instead of it taking you a few minutes per customer, or even up to 5 minutes depending on what the customer inquiry is about, you can automate that so it literally takes you 1 minute instead of 4 or 5, right? So that's going to save you a lot of time, because over time, if you let's say you have 4 or 5 customer inquiries a day, or let's say 20 or 30 a week, now the bigger your business gets, the more customer inquiries you're going to have, and that's not a bad thing. That's actually a sign your business is growing. So the more customer inquiries, even the more return requests. Now that depends on if you're getting a return request for the same products over and over again. That's a whole other issue. That's going to be where you're going to want to delete those products if they're going to be causing you a massive defect rate. It's clearly not a good product. Remove it. Now, if it's just general, the odd return for the odd product, and you're getting more and more over time, your sales volume's growing, that's a good sign because your business is growing. So with a larger business comes more customer service. And this is where automating with scripts and a few other things we're going to talk about in this video are going to save you time and money. So the next thing you can do is, beyond creating these scripts for free, which eventually when your business gets big enough, let's say you're on Amazon, you're doing, let's say 30 or 40K a month in sales. So it's very, very reasonable and a very simple goal to get to if you have the right resources and suppliers and things like that. Like if you're a SupremeCommerce student, you're going to be able to get to that level in a pretty decent period of time as long as you're dedicated and focused. Now, if you're not a SupremeCommerce student, doesn't matter. You can get to these levels on the eBay and Amazon platforms just with straight up hard work and the right suppliers and listing new products. List new products every single day. It doesn't matter if it's in the evening after work, if it's a half an hour before bed, if it's in the morning before you go to work, or if you're not working and you're working from home full time. You should be going hard listing products, right? So the more your business grows, the more customer service you're probably going to have. And like I said, not a bad thing, but it all depends. If it's, like I said, for the same product, that's an issue, and that the product is the issue. Now, if it's just general inquiries, and you're going to get more of them as your business grows, it's a good thing, but you're going to need to automate some of the processes. With scripts, that's a huge thing, and it's free. Next thing is going to be hiring VAs and outsourcing, let's say, customer service or placing orders, uploading tracking numbers to your orders. Having VAs do that and outsourcing it to VAs for like a virtual assistant, which you can get on places like Upwork.com, and hiring them for a few dollars an hour. So if you hire them for 10 hours a week to manage all of your customer service and you're paying them $3 an hour, that's only $30 a week, right? $30 a week, so that's going to be $120 a month, which is about the cost of a software, right? So 10 hours a week, and they're managing all your customer service now, and you've given them the scripts to use that you've already curated for yourself to help them answer common questions and, let's say, return requests or refunds. So this is going to be the kind of thing that if you're getting like 5, 10, 15, 20 a week or more, eventually you're going to start spending time on tasks that are not income productive. These tasks are not actually making you money. And in the beginning, you want to do them yourself because it's going to save you time and money, right? You make more money by doing it yourself in the beginning. But at a point where you're your sales volume's increasing and you're making more money, but you find yourself spending more time on tasks that aren't actually generating income, like customer service, placing orders and stuff, you need to outsource this stuff, rather through automation or hiring virtual assistants, right? So you're going to want to hire VAs at some point, or instead of doing the VAs, you could do software first. So you can use automation software for placing orders, uploading tracking, doing your inventory management. And then when you're ready to take it to the very next level, then you can hire a VA to fill in the gaps. Right, so if you have automation software doing orders and uploading tracking and inventory, then you still have customer service and listing new products, right? So you can scale your business to the next level by using VAs, virtual assistants, to fill in the gap. So customer service and listing new products. That is when you're going to have a 100% automated hands-off business. And the costs of that, you can get a fully automated eBay or Amazon business with our SupremeCommerce support, or our programs, or our actual Amazon done for you automation service, which I have been offering since January 2019. Or you can set this all up yourself, right? It's going to take a lot longer time. You're going to have to build this thing out. But these are the steps you want to follow in scaling and growing your business, because not only will you be able to make more money and scale your business bigger when you automate a lot of the tasks that aren't actually generating income for you, but the number two thing is you're going to be able to take profits from your business and all the time you get back, right? If you're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week on your business, then all of a sudden you automate and you outsource, and now you are working 5 to 10 hours a week just watching over your business as the software and your virtual assistants are doing most of the work for you. All of a sudden you got another 30 or 40 hours a week. What do you do with that? Start another business, right? An entrepreneurial mindset is you're not just going to want to do one thing, one stream of income. But my number one best advice is whatever, a lot of people will say, oh, multiple streams of income, that's the best way to do it. And that's true, but it's only true to a certain extent. One thing a lot of people leave out, and the funny thing about other entrepreneurs, like people that supposedly make a lot of money, it's funny because they will straight up say multiple streams of income is the best way to build wealth, to make a lot of money. And like I said, in part that is true, because you can make a lot more money with 5 streams of income than you can with 1. But the part a lot of them leave out, which makes me feel like they're actually not as experienced as they think they are, is you cannot just all of a sudden do 5 streams of income and 30 days later you're making money with all 5 streams of income. You need to put in a full-time effort on one stream of income to start with, right? Maybe even 2 if you have the time. Like if you don't have a full-time job, if you're already making money with something where let's say you have a partially automated business, or you have a partially passive or residual income with a business. If you start another business and you can, let's say, 2 streams of income, but I would never go for In your first 6 months of starting out as an entrepreneur, even with online businesses where you can automate them, don't go in the first 30, 60, 90 days going, I'm going to start 10 businesses and in 1 year I'm going to have 10 streams of income. Because 1 year later, guess what's going to happen? If you're lucky, you'll be making 5, 10, 15, maybe $100 a month with each, or you're going to be so drained from spreading yourself so thin, working on all these different businesses, where if you would have spent 12 months on an e-commerce business or 12 months on an affiliate business, for example, just that one business, master it, get really, really good at it, within 12 months, the progress you can make with one business is going to be far greater than the progress you will make with 3 or 4 or 5, right? So when someone says multiple streams of income is the best way to build wealth, that is true, but the best way to do it in the beginning is to start with one. Don't go for 4, 5, 6, or 7. That's literally the biggest mistake you'll make. And I made that mistake myself. 5 or 6 years ago in 2014, I tried to do multiple different things. I made a lot of mistakes. I wasted a lot of money, wasted a lot of time. Once I found e-commerce, my first 12 months with eBay and Amazon. So those were 2 streams of income, but it was the same business. And I focused all my time on that. In the first 12 months, I did $280,000 in sales. I made about $40K profit in my first 12 months. And that's because I focused on one thing. Now, if I was to take 10 or 15 hours a week of the time I was spending on my eBay and Amazon business, and I was to say spend that on an MLM or an affiliate marketing business, or let's say Forex, I probably wouldn't have done half the sales volume and made half the money that I did from my one business, my e-commerce businesses, because I would have been spending all that extra time on something else where I still have to learn it, right? It's really, really hard for a human being to learn 3 or 4 different things at once. It's really easy if you just focus on one thing, because what you focus on, if you just focus on one thing, even if you're not you're not the smartest person in the world, you're not technologically savvy, you don't have a ton of resources, you don't have a ton of knowledge, anything you put your mind to, if you focus on one thing, you can literally do anything as long as you put your mind to it, and as long as you don't spread your focus across like 7 different things. Focus on one thing, maybe 2, as long as they're related, right? So eBay and Amazon, same thing, it's just 2 different platforms, gives you 2 streams of income. And that's why we have a course that actually teaches both eBay and Amazon, because it's very similar businesses, right? It's e-commerce. It's just a different platform. So that's my best advice is starting out, going for the multiple streams of income. That's a long-term goal. So I would say spend your first 6 to 12 months on one business or 1 or 2 streams of income that are related. Grow that business out, partially or fully automate it. Then is when you want to start using your money, your knowledge, and your resources that you've gained in the first year, 6 months to a year with your one business. Then you can start looking for multiple streams, right? Because I made a lot of mistakes in my first year trying to do like a couple different things. I ended up failing, losing money, losing time. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to focus on one thing. 12 months later, I almost did 300 grand in sales, right? I made a 40K, and that was more than I was making at my job. So that's just real life proof right there that what focusing on one thing in the very beginning will do for you, right? So that's my best advice. Now, number 5, back to the actual steps here, is do not hire VAs and pay for automation software in the very beginning. So you don't want to do this unless you can afford to carry the costs until your profit is greater than the cost. So if you want to come in and start an automation software for $200 a month, and you want to hire a VA for 20 hours a week at $3 an hour, that's going to be $240 a month. So you're looking at $400 or $500 a month in fees for your VAs and your software and your whatever. So if you're going to come in and jump into that right away, make sure you can actually afford it and pay for it. But my best advice is, even with our automation service, I mean, there's something about it that I like to make sure that someone has the control over their own business, and that you understand the business before going to that 100% automation. All right, so even if you just jump in, let's say you can afford the VAs, you can afford the software, you can pay for that, no problem. I would still highly suggest you spend the first 30, 60, or 90 days running most of the business yourself, listing some new products, doing the customer service. Because how are you supposed to manage software and VAs, virtual assistants? How are you supposed to educate them? And how are you supposed to run this automation and leverage if you don't really know what is involved in the business, right? So that's why our automation service is 90% automated. The only thing you have to do is customer service, and within 30 days you have the option to go to 100%. Right, so that first 30 days, you kind of get an overlook of, okay, cool, this is how the business works. I'm going to answer some customers. This guy wants a return. And as you watch the business grow, you're going to be able to understand and you're going to be able to have full control. And let's say after 30 days, okay, now I want to go 100%. Now I'm going to hire a VA for the customer service. And that's the last thing. So that would be one thing you could do, is to jump in the automation. But again, you have to be able to afford it. Now, if you're starting out brand new, you don't have a lot of capital, you don't have the funds to just jump in and pay for an automation service that we offer, or you don't have the money to pay for VAs and automation software every month, like a couple $100s a month or so. That's why I highly suggest not hiring or paying for software in the very beginning unless you can afford it. And if you can't, start off with learning the business yourself, listing products, doing customer service, doing returns and refunds. Learn this stuff for yourself. Build out some scripts. Copy and paste those scripts. You're partially automating your business right there by yourself, all on your own. Learning this stuff by yourself. I think that's the best way to do it. And eventually, you're going to want to look into hiring VAs, for customer service, and then software and things like that. So I think that's about it for this video. If you have any questions, post them below. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and we'll see you next week.